So, hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today is not a Star Stable video. Make sure to check out the video that I filmed yesterday of doing all the quests in Star Stable. But today we're going to be reading The Fox Busters by Dick King Smith, the master of animal adventures. So, Chapter 1, The Fox Busters. Oh, sorry, that's not Chapter 1. Sorry, everyone. Chapter 1, The Ambush. One April morning, 12 pullets from Flockhat Forest Farm were playing an energetic game. The long-legged, athletic young chickens, still short of the point on their first lay, and thus free to roam all over the place without Dominic's responsibilities, were foraging together in the barnyard. They had come upon a strange and interesting thing. In fact, with a large brown and white striped humbag wrapped with a twist of transparent paper. The farmer had dropped the sweet from his pocket as he pulled out his handkerchief to blow his nose. The police did not recognise the humbag as food, but they were attracted by its stripy colour and the cracklings of the paper, and they pecked at it anyway. They were bustling with energy, and just one in the mood for a game. One picked it up and dashed off across the yard, pursued by all her friends. All were anxious to grab the trophy, and it was dropped and picked up again, just high in the air, and caught or passed from beak to beak. To the excited cries of the players, they were jolly girls, healthy girls, hearty girls, and they shouted to each other as they played. Cluck it, tig, cluck it, tig, cluck it, cluck it, cluck it. Back, back, pass it back. Hard luck, oh hard luck. Quick, quick, we played it, chick. How they scuffled and tussled and ran, chasing, racing about the yard with their long yellow legs, until at last they tired of the game and, leaving the humbag in the dust, ran squawking to the lower yard for a drink, the great stone water trough. The surface of the water was green and scrummy, and there was nothing to be seen except from a black shiny object about the size of a small prune. This did not notice some were in the act of blending to scoop up the water, when in a dreadful explosion of controlled violence, an old grey muzzled fox burst out from the low surface. He took the nearest bird by downstretched neck in the very instant of his lap. The watery ambush had slipped his wet way out of the yard and off into the woods, as a wild chorus of horror-stricken yelled from the survivors. At the fringe of the brownly trees, the old dog/fox dropped the broken neck, paused for a moment, and shook the water out of his red coat, and shook himself from the point of his long nose to the end of the white-tipped brush. Turning his head onto one foot raised, he looked back interestedly at the forest farm. Then he picked up his prey and was gone. Well, that was chapter 1. Time to do chapter 2. The Extraordinary Hatch. Foxes like all kinds of things to eat, but especially they love chickens, and for hundreds and hundreds of years the fox has killed and the chicken has been killed. But one fine day at the Foxworth farm, only a week after one fox had killed one foal in the ambush at the great stone trough, some extraordinary chickens were hatched who grew up to do some extraordinary things, as a result of which foxes live in their livestock one way or another, loving them together. It all began in a very unusual way when one farmer's hens went broody. Farmer, that was his name, just there was Burks called Baker and Butchers called Butcher. Kept hens as well as hens. He kept cows and pigs. And as well as cows and pigs, he kept foxes. He didn't in the least way want to keep foxes, of course, but for many, many years as the name of the farm, the sandy dells and the thick woods of that piece of country had been the homes to generations of long-nosed, soft-footed, sharp-eared, red-horsed chicken lovers. And because Farmer Farmer's grandfather and the father before him had been, as he was a little bit slapdish, had a little bit go-lucky and a little bit lazy even, generations of fox-sized farm hens had to learn the lesson that only the fittest survive. They probably have been housed or penned are probably sharp and nice, who over the years have remained the fat dull, comfortable biddies, wonderful biddies, happy prisoners, free from fear. As it was farmer's chickens had gradually become very different from the usual stupid, squawking, earthbound sort. To begin with, they were all dull colouring, brownish or greyish or sandyish for over these years. The white ones and the bright ones and the spotty ones had always been the first to catch the sharp eyes of the chicken lovers on the daylight raids or the night patrols. Next, they were all too much longer in the leg than usual, for over the years, those who could not run fast enough and they needed a roster never. And again, thirdly, they were all quick-waited, for over these years, those who wandered around the corners in a daydream, or went for walks too far from the barnyard, or waited, or walked, or waited again. Lastly, and most importantly, the chickens of Foxhouse Farm had developed a skill which a poultry that did not usually progress. They could fly. They could really fly, for over the years, flight, real flight, had become the only safety when foxes hiding was not good. Running was not good, nor the sort of short-range, low attitude Frankfurt's first one, who the hen could usually manage. The Foxhouse birds could usually remain airborne for long distances and could easily reach quite useful heights. For example, 30-foot high top of the stacked hay bales in Farmer's Dutch barn, up to which they flew strong, confident beats of their long, graceful wings with the dullest brown, longest legs, sharpest written hen of them all, after herself in comfortable round-up between two bales. Here was her nest containing 11 eggs. As she progressed to lay the 12th in 3 weeks, a dozen ordinary brownish middle-sized eggs. A large hack out, but did extraordinary hatch it was. That's all for today with Foxbusters. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.